Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Florida Boy. This is my EDC channel. If you don't know where you are, welcome to the channel. So today's video, super excited to finally get to record this. We are looking at the Olight Warrior Mini 3. We're going to go over a couple things about this flashlight. It is, so far, has been an awesome light, and got a couple little things to say about it. So we're going to do a review. Yes, we're going to do a review. I know a lot of people are just getting theirs, and I'm going to get some people going, oh, why are you doing a review already? You got to carry it. I've had mine for a couple weeks. So full disclosure, Olight sent this to me for review. And yeah, so I appreciate them for that. And if you want to support the channel, don't forget to use my links. They will be in the description below. And I have a discount code, FBEDC. There we go. I remembered it. That will be in the description down below too. It will get you 10% off, and it doesn't work on everything, especially sale items, but it works on most things. So let's get into it. All right, super stoked to be taking a look at this flashlight. This is the Olight Warrior Mini 3, which you probably already know because you probably clicked on this video because of the title and description. So we're just going to go ahead and talk about it. So this, as I said in kind of the intro, this was sent to me by Olight. This is the OD green to the fade to black rendition, and honestly, pretty solid flashlight. Not the biggest fan of OD green, but to be honest, this one is beautifully done. I think this is a great format. I forget what they call this, but it's like a, I don't know, it's like a gradient going from green to black. Someone will definitely correct me there. So so let's go ahead and do the normal. So let's see y'all. Let's go ahead and see what she is looking at. As far as length goes, we are just shy of 4.5, and by just shy, I mean just shy of 4.5. So we'll just call it 4.5 inches long, and we will go ahead and see kind of what she weighs. She is not that heavy, actually, and just at 4.3 ounces. So very nice. Let's go ahead and do a couple of size comparisons. Sorry for the beating and banging around. Got a new chair, got a new desk, got a new everything. So, yeah, still getting used to my surroundings here. So let me go ahead and get these flashlights out of the knife roll. There we go. Got some comparison lights ready to rock and roll. So, just to go ahead and start it off, let's go ahead and do an arc feld because this is definitely a very popular EDC light among the masses. So there you go, next to the arc feld, and this is the UV variant. So not the bigger version, which is the green laser, and by bigger, it's not much bigger at all. So here you go. Here is the Baton 3 Pro. It got scared of the Warrior Mini and ran away. The Baton 3 is definitely not a Warrior. So there we go. There is the size comparison to the Baton 3 Pro and the arc feld. Go ahead and get these two out of the way, and let's actually take a look at some Warriors. So here's your original Warrior. This is the Warrior Mini, and this is the Eternal 2 edition. There you go. My copper is getting some patina on it, but there you go. You can see it says Eternal 2. And this is definitely one of my faves. Carry it a lot. My good buddy Dan sent me that one, and was actually part of the first package he's ever sent me, believe it or not. So this is like the original Dan, the Drew Dan conversation that we had where he reached out. So definitely near and dear to my heart. And like I said, here is your Warrior Mini 2. So that gives you some size comparison, and you can definitely see a bigger difference on the head of these flashlights. And we'll do a lot of comparisons just for the people that have the older Warrior Minis and they just kind of want to see the difference between the new ones and the old ones. So we will touch base on that. So don't fret. We are going to absolutely do that. So taking a look at the Warrior Mini 3, if you are picking this up on the sale, I'm getting a shadow from the Warrior Mini 2. This is not about you. You've already had your video. So here is your Warrior Mini 3, and you can see the pocket clip is definitely going to be a little bit longer. Get this in frame. A little bit longer than the Warrior Mini 2. There you go. But retention feels roughly the same. It does get a little bit looser towards the end because, leverage, it is a longer pocket clip. So you will notice it's not quite as tight towards the bottom of this, but once you kind of get up towards the, the middle of the taper here, definitely has pretty decent retention. Talking about this light, it is $63 right now on sale on the Olight website, which is a whopping 30% off. Not being facetious here, that is a pretty good discount. This is a pretty great light. A lot of people talk about Olight, especially me. I'm an Olight fanboy. But there are things I don't care or don't really care for that Olight does that we will talk about. Not a lot, just a couple few. So we'll talk about it. So getting into a couple changes, I'm trying to get a good angle here. You can see on the actual button itself here how it is recessed. It's kind of hard to get an angle, but it is a recessed button, so it is flat. Whenever you run your finger across, actually it even kind of dips in just a little bit. And if you look at the previous Warrior Minis, there you go. You can see that they actually protrude. They stick up above the light itself. It makes a little bit of a difference. I do like this button a lot, actually, and it is bigger in diameter. There you go, Warrior Mini 2. You can see how much bigger the button is. One thing I'm glad they did not do with this light that they did on the Warrior Mini 2 is if you look at this monstrosity of a head here, it is very, very tactical. It's got a very, very big head on it. And then if we look at the lens here, we can definitely see that we have a clearer lens. Just a lot of nice little upgrades. The LED itself actually has higher candela than the previous models. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. And if my hands are dirty, I'm sorry. I literally just came back inside. I was helping my brother work on his car. So yeah, that is one of the big things. We did stick with the little tactical ridges around the edge, glass breakers, whatever you want to call them. They're a little knurled. You do definitely 100% feel that. If you look at the original Warrior Mini, we did not have that. So that is a little bit of a difference. I actually was kind of a fan of the blue accents going along here around the fire button and around the bezel. I wish we'd have kept some accents on here. That's a small nitpick. That is definitely not something to take to the bank. But I like the color accents. I do like that this, that like I said, this gradient that they have going on here, going from the OD green to the black, which they also did with the blue version. They made the Midnight Horizon is a blue that fades to black, which is really, really cool. Then of course they have the just plain black version, which keeps the blue head and I believe the blue bezel around the button. I really like that. I wish they'd have done something kind of similar on this just to kind of separate the tones, but I get why they didn't. The black matches the black on the bottom, so it looks good. I'm an aesthetic type person, so I really like it when they go above and beyond on the aesthetics. I did already do the unboxing, but for anybody that didn't see it, here is your box. This is what this is going to look like. Here are your stuff on the back, 1750 lumens before dropping down to 500 and then 200. 2 minutes, 210 minutes, and then 30 minutes between those, those three lumen levels. 240 meter throw, and you've got 14,000 candela, which is actually pretty awesome because I believe the Warrior Mini 2 was somewhere around 12,000, and the Warrior Mini was somewhere around 9, I think closer to 10. So it seems like every time they drop this Warrior Mini, they are upping about 2,000 candela. So you are getting a nice, and I mean a nice little beam pattern on here. And very, very nice. There we go. Quality of the light. I wish that this. It's like impossible to pick up what these look like. But if I do moonlight, you can kind of see the difference. You can kind of see. It just seems like it's clearer, and that definitely has something to do with the lens and the reflector. But at the same time, this one also has a gigantic fingerprint right in the middle of the lens. You hear that cleaning. Okay. There we go. A little bit cleaner, but you can definitely see the difference. You can just tell that it's shinier, it's new, it's nice, it looks good. Here's the original Warrior Mini, and you can tell there is no comparison. And it is what it is. I still love the original Warrior Mini, but these two, this is a pretty massive difference. Just going from these two models, this is a very massive difference. A very big change from what they did. They also got rid of the weird little ring thing they had going on. One thing I do like about this is the fact that you can move this clip from, tip to tail. And you can see that's what I did. I have mine carrying this way for the Warrior Mini, which was my preferred way to carry it because of how big it is. I just preferred to have it face down, and then I could just pull it out of the pocket and then, bam, hit my tail switch if I needed to. But speaking of tail switches, let's go ahead and look at the tail switches. So this is probably one of the best upgrades that they did on this light. And you can hear the Warrior Mini if you did not buy this one. Yeah, super, super annoying. Yeah, you can take it off, but who wants to do that? So here we go. Here is taking a look at the actual tail switches, your tactical tail switches. If we look at the original Warrior Mini, the Warrior Mini 2 was very, very similar to this design. Didn't really change a whole lot. It did feel a little different, definitely much clickier on the Warrior Mini 2. The Warrior Mini was a little mushy. Let me see if I can get a sound clip in. Here's the Warrior Mini tail switch. Here's the Warrior Mini 2 tail switch. Yeah, they probably sound about the same. They don't feel the same, though. If we go to the Warrior Mini 3, there you go. I don't know. It's a little mushy, too, but it feels better because you are not jamming yourself in the finger with these nice little tactical stainless steel pyramids sitting around the outside of the edge. Look like little Doritos sitting on the bottom of the light, praying to the tail switch. But if we go to this, it's nice, it's flush. Aesthetically, it looks a lot better. Now the click isn't great. It is tactile enough to where it feels good. It is a little mushy. Hate to say it for any of you tail switch guys. It does feel a little bit mushy. It's not going to be clicky at all like you think it's going to be. Not a downfall, not a bad thing, but it is just something to note. I would prefer this design with the, I don't know. I would prefer this design, but more of the actuation of this button. I just think it feels better. So just, take that to the bank. That's how I feel about that. Aside from that, I mean, everything else is pretty similar to the old ones. Yes, this does work on your, what are they called? The omnios. Yep, here's your omnio. We'll use that in just a second. So here is one of the things that I wish Olight would get away from. Here is your 18650 battery, your proprietary 18650 battery. If you don't know what that means and you were strictly an Olight person, let me inform you. So here is a Samsung 18650, and we can right away see the differences. The Olight 18650 is longer. It's a button top. It's, it's a million things. They're good batteries. They really are. And I've got a ton of them. So this is just another small nitpick. But I prefer to get away from, any of the proprietary batteries. If we bust out this guy right here, you can see that Olight's not the only one that does it. Here's a Workhorse 18650 button top. A little bit more universal, I believe. Yeah, so this is more the standard size for 18650s, but it is a button top, so a little bit less widely used, but still, it's the right size. So that could be used on other flashlights and vice versa. But with the Olight batteries, you're going to be stuck using Olight batteries only. Maybe not. I haven't played around with a ton of batteries inside my Olights because I don't really have a need to. I probably have 20 of these. But if you buy Olight batteries, well, before I put that away, if you buy Olight batteries, it's not the end of the world. Like I said, it's just like a small, tiny nitpick. If we look inside the tube, everything looks good, just like we expect from Olight. If the camera would focus. Nope, not going to do it. Okay, but just take my word for it. Everything on inside of the tube looks good. If we look at the bottom of the head, of course, you can't see a whole lot, but it looks good. Let me go ahead and turn this brightness on this flashlight down just a hair. There we go. And no complaints there. So, as always, Olight construction, some of the best. I mean, really. Yes, I am an affiliate with Olight. Yes, they send me free lights. But believe me, I'm not just going to throw garbage up here because it's one of those things where do you just promote every company, or do you try to make friends on YouTube? It's never been, doing the YouTube thing's never been really about the money for me, so I'm not going to try to jam garbage down your throat. This is going to be very just as informative as I can make it. The knurling on the body of the light still feels right about the same. Jesus, these batteries are these magnets grabbing everything around me. That was the Baton 3 Pro. It was trying to drag over here. So the knurling feels right about the same. Same thing with the Warrior Mini, the original. So I don't think that has changed really at all. So if you were hoping for that, sorry, it's not happening. Yeah, one thing that was pretty cool, I was watching a video on Pardon My English, and he actually did a video on it, which I thought was pretty awesome. Yes, you saw it there first. If you don't follow his channel, you absolutely should go do that. He's a great guy. But yes, you can swap the heads around on the Warrior Minis and they will fire. I thought that was pretty cool. Just kind of shows you that the body has stayed the same, even though they've literally like changed everything else. Thought that was pretty neat. I had to go and play with it myself. I had to be like, I've got 3 Warrior Minis. I could play around with this a little bit. So, yeah, just like everybody else who has Olight products, swapping out pocket clips and all that stuff. If you have multiple Warrior Minis, you can really make kind of whatever you want as far as the Warrior Minis go. So going back to the Olight sale, I think I already said it. It's $63. Yeah, I think it's worth it. I mean, this light, it's the Warrior Minis is kind of one of those flagship brand or flagship products lines for Olight. It's awesome. I mean, it's got the tail switch. So if you ever want to, feel like John Wick or somebody and just walk around with, tail firing your flashlight, holding your pistol. Yeah, there you go. The beam's a lot tighter. We're going to go look at some beam shots here in just a second. You'll see that the beam is much tighter than the Warrior Mini 2. I was about to say better, but it really depends on what you're using it for. You can definitely tell the candela difference. That is the massive, massive difference. You can literally shine the Warrior Mini 3 into the beam of the Warrior Mini 2, and you can still see the beam of the 3 inside the 2. So there's definitely a difference there. Going up to 14,400 candela. They're both 1,750 lumens, so that really hasn't changed. If we go back to the head of this guy, we've still got that TIR optic lens. I believe that is the same lens that is on the Warrior Mini 2. So, like I said, they really haven't changed a ton of stuff as far as the actual build goes, other than the LED and some of the stuff that we've talked about. One thing to note on here too, I don't think I actually said it other than showing the box. We talked about the turbo mode. So if we go down to Moonlight mode, that is half a lumen for 100 days. So battery life is excellent. If you go to low, you get 15 lumens for 165 hours. And then if you go to medium, you will get 120 lumens for right about 18 hours. High is never as impressive. You go 500 lumens for about 3.5 hours, and then drops down to 200 lumens for about 30 minutes. So nothing super fancy as far as like the high and the turbos go for run times, but still not bad. Now, if you skipped over on the Warrior Mini 3, this one's actually 25% off right now too. So the Warrior Mini 3 is let's just say $70. It's like $67 and change. Once you do tax and all that, you're going to be at $70 for this flashlight. I have always been a fan of the Warrior Minis, and the 2 was probably my least favorite. And I'm sorry, Olight. It just this was just too much, and there's just too much going on. For just a normal EDC, this one is, it is bigger. It's not, it's not massive. That's not a massive difference, but in a pocket, that's, what are we talking? A quarter to half an inch difference right there. So that's a pretty big difference. You know what I'm saying? But now talking about runtime, there's a big difference here. So Moonlight mode runtime on this is only about 45 days. I know only, but this is 100 days. So runtimes on this definitely a little bit less good. So 1 lumen on the Moonlight instead of half a lumen, and that's for 45 days. Low mode on the Warrior Mini 2 is 15 lumens for 164 hours. Medium is 120 lumens for 19 hours. So on, etc. The next medium, or the high and the turbo, are right about the same as far as lumens and runtime on the Warrior Mini as the Warrior Mini 3. And then finally, get out Grandpa. So here's Grandpa. Grandpa was also 1500 lumens. So, you know, both of these guys are definitely, you know, the young bucks are stronger than him. But we dropped down to 9,000 candela on here. So the beam's definitely not as pretty. You know, take it for what it is. For the majority of people using their flashlights on, you know, moonlight and low mode, you're probably not going to notice that difference an awful lot. But you know, this is informational. So I'm just going to cram as much information down your throat as I can before you leave. So, you know, you really can't get these anymore. So we're not going to talk about it way too much. But it is definitely a good flashlight. And you know, I think the Warrior Mini 3 was needed because I was not impressed with the Warrior Mini 2. I think the Warrior Mini 2 was great. I did buy that with my own money. That was not sent to me by Olight. I think that was before the channel sponsorship affiliate thing that we have going on. But I buy a lot of Olights with my own money. So there it is. They send me free stuff and I still buy stuff. It's a problem. Speaking of still buying stuff, I have a box from Olight I have yet to open, and that will be on another video. This is the stuff that I copped on the recent sale. Touching on a couple other things real quick before we wrap this up. Oh, let's go do some beam shots. Hold on, we're already at 20 minutes. Hold on, let's go do
All right, so there is basically 3 things you need to know about this test. Sorry, getting ate up by mosquitoes. It is hot, it is humid, it just rained, and there are mosquitoes everywhere. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and try to knock this out. Let me unroll my little flashlight / knife roll, and here we go. We can see what we're testing with. We got Warrior Mini, Warrior Mini 2, Warrior Mini 3, Arc Filled, and Baton 3 Pro. So let's do it. Let me set these down, and we'll do like we normally do, and we'll start off with the Warrior Mini 3. And of course you can hear the AC unit because, you know, it only turns on when I go to record, so that's fine. It's fine. All right, let's go ahead and shut the key light off real fast. There we go. And we will start off with Warrior Mini 3 in moonlight mode. More than likely, camera is not picking this up, but that's totally okay. If you're hearing something going on, I'm fidgeting with my mic because it is right in my face. There we go. All right, we'll go ahead and bump it up to low. Here is your low beam. Go ahead and bump it up to medium. There you go. Really nice spot on this. You can see we've got a really nice spot in the middle. A little bit of flood going on the outside. Let me hold it up so I can get a more direct angle. We'll go ahead and go to high. There you go. And if you see the corner of the fence, the corner way out there, I say way like it's really far, but that's about 35 yards. And we'll double tap, we'll go up to turbo, and you can see exactly what we're looking at. So before we go into the battle of the Warrior Minis, we'll go ahead and bust out the Arc Filled, and boom, UV. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so one thing to know is my Arc Filled is neutral white. So it's going to be not as bright, but it's not as bright anyways as the Warrior Mini 3s because, you know, 1000 lumens versus 1750, but no biggie. So I'm convinced the camera does not pick up these moonlight modes, but we'll go ahead and go to low. And you've got Arc Filled on the left, Warrior Mini 3 on the right. This is low. Go to medium. You can see the Arc Filled is all flood. Literally, it does not have a hot spot. There we go. Bump it up again. Arc Filled on the left, Warrior Mini 3 on the right. You can see Warrior Mini 3 touching the bushes in the corner. You can see the Arc Filled is trying desperately to. And we'll go back down to low before bumping up to turbo on both. Warrior Mini 3 going out to 35 yards. Arc Filled going out to 30, not 5 yards. So there you go. Arc Filled, Warrior Mini 3. And that Arc Filled is the new iteration of the Arc Filled. It is the UV model, if you didn't catch that when I said that. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and go on to the Warrior Mini. So this Warrior Mini, turn on my key light real fast. This is the original Warrior Mini. This is the Eternal model. of course, here is your, just so everybody can see, this is what I'm using. Here is your Warrior Mini 3. Go ahead and turn off that key light real fast. And we'll go both to low mode, or moonlight, I should say. I'll shine that just for a second. We'll go to low, Warrior Mini, WM3. Here is your low, medium. And you can definitely see kind of the same thing going on. A lot bigger of a spot, but it's got a lot of spill. The Warrior Mini 3 is definitely a lot tighter of a grouping. We'll go back down to low, and we'll bump up to turbo. Am I on turbo? I am on turbo. Okay, so here's your turbo. Warrior Mini 3 reaching 35 yards. Warrior Mini reaching 35 yards. Just a lot tighter. I'm holding these way directly above my head, and you can see how much bigger the spot is on the original Warrior Mini. Next, go ahead and turn on key light. Next, we will do Warrior Mini 2. You can see right here, Warrior Mini 2, serial number 72. Sorry, just had to show that off for a second. Anybody, did y'all see my my video I did on the what was it, the last sale where they released the O-Pin Glow and they sent me serial number 1? That's funny. And I had to open it. Oh God. All right. So we're on moonlight. Same thing as always. The 2 is on the left, the 3 is on the right. So here is our low, medium, high, and turbo. Warrior Mini 3, 35 yards. Warrior Mini 2, 35 yards. Definitely same thing, a lot bigger of a spot. Definitely not as tight of a beam. I don't know how well the camera is going to pick this up, but I feel like this is important to note. If we, yeah, here we go. So it's not going to pick it up well. This is your Warrior Mini 2. Maybe if I turn on some backlighting. Hold on, let's see here. So here is your Warrior Mini 2. Nope, that did not help at all, so we'll just go away from that. Warrior Mini 3 definitely has a smaller head. That Warrior Mini 2, they really tried to increase the size of the head. But if you look at the LEDs between the two, the LED is also smaller, but you can tell it's just looking at it, it looks like a higher CRI. It just looks so much better. Okay, so last one that we're gonna do for this. So we are gonna run the Baton 3 Pro. Am I on the right side? Does it say Baton 3 Pro? It does. There you go. All right, so we'll start off on moonlight. Baton 3 Pro on the left, Warrior Mini 3 on the right. We'll go up to low, medium. Now that I'm almost at the end, the AC unit wants to cut off. It's literally like 20 feet to my right, but this is where I record. And if I turned that off, my wife would probably kill me because it gets hot and super humid inside the house. But yeah, you can see the Baton 3 Pro is literally like all flood. It looks good though. It looks damn good doing it. So back down to low, we'll just cycle through. There you go. And we'll go turbo and turbo. And there's your 35-yard mark. Same thing for the Warrior Mini 3. Warrior Mini 3 is really good. I feel like it's really good as like an intermediate, kind of like a medium level flashlight. Because it really will reach out and touch because it's got that really tight beam, but it's got enough flood to where I can light up this whole yard. Not the whole yard, but you get what I'm saying. But anyways, that's it for doing the beam patterns for now. If you want to see different lights that I'm using or want to see anything else for these beam tests, let me know. Let me know what else I can do with them. Warrior Mini 3, you can also see I'm on a yellow charge. I have been using it, have been carrying it. So it was not at full battery level, but it's still shining pretty bright. So let's get back to the table. Beam shots are always so much fun, aren't they? I love mosquitoes. All right, so go ahead and get these guys out of the way. Let's return to the topic at hand. Is it worth it? Yeah,
I think so. This one was sent to me by Olight, yes. So I'm sorry if you feel like this is a biased opinion, but I loved the Warrior Mini, and I was not insanely impressed with the Warrior Mini 2. And I think the Warrior Mini 3 is reignited my love for the Warrior Minis because we went back to the same size. They did a better job on the tail switch. Design, not function 100%. I would prefer the clickiness of the old one, but can't have your cake and eat it too most of the time. The button difference is amazing. I love the button. I love that we went to the two-pronged or whatever you want to call it as far as the pocket clip goes. That is a massive difference. It just makes you feel more comfortable. It just looks like it's got a lot more, a lot more strength. Everything else kind of kept the same except for the performance upgrades. And, if I could change anything about this light, I would get rid of the ridges around the edge. Whether or not they're glass breakers or what, 90% of people aren't going to need a glass breaker, but it is important to carry a glass breaker. I don't want to say it's not. If you ever find yourself in that situation where you need one and you don't have one, I hope that you live on to have more situations, because that's a real thing. Having a glass breaker is a real thing. I don't prefer to have them on my knives. Microtech, looking at you. But, carrying a glass breaker on your pen or something, you should keep one in your car. Just YouTube it. YouTube why you should carry a glass breaker. Just YouTube that. It's very informational. So aside from that, you know what? I like the upgrades. I like the light. I like the performance upgrades. I think they did a good job. I think it's worth $60, to be honest. Call me a flashlight pusher. I've already admitted to being a flashaholic, so you're not telling me anything I don't know. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. One more note for all of you who have made it this far. You are being rewarded. So I have put together the stuff for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. For the most part, I've got pretty much everything together. The only thing I don't have is a knife for the giveaway. I've been talking to a couple companies, and I'm trying to see if I could get some knives sent in for the giveaway. I would really like to have some companies, say yes and send me some things to give away. I have knives and stuff I can give away. I like to hang on to as much as I can for content for the channel. But as far as knives go, I wanted to give away new knives, not stuff that I've opened and played with. Because some of the stuff like the Olight, or like the Oakley backpack, I've used it very little, but it is open and it would technically be used. So I'm trying to get a couple companies to send me some knives, and if I can get one or more, then we will have multiple giveaway winners. I know as of right now, the grand prize, or at least the one giveaway that I will be doing, is going to be pretty much a full EDC. It's going to have a wallet, some trinkets, flashlight, backpack, all that good stuff. So that is in the works. That's the only reason why we haven't had it yet. I've been trying to get more product because I want it to be special. You guys did this, not me. You guys did it, so I greatly appreciate you. I just want everybody to make sure they know that. So thank you again, everybody, for stopping by, checking out the video. Use my link in the description. Please support the channel. If you don't, that's okay. Watching the video is more than enough. Thank you. I will have my discount code down there. Make sure you use that. Saves you money. I do get a cut. I think it's like 10%. That also supports the channel. I appreciate that if you use it too. If not, once again, totally cool. Doesn't matter. Totally cool. All right, let's wrap it up. Thanks, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.